Lydia. Is Julia here?
Yes, come in. I haven't seen you since that party when they tried to kill Minka. Remember?
Yes, quite a shock, wasn't it? Julia.
Lorna, how did you know I was here?
Filippo just told me that you just arrived from Rome.
Very true. Filippo. I'm going to strangle that man. You see? He won't stop following me. I'm sure he's done something to scare Sergio away.
Well, what's happened? I mean, the two of you are divorced now. Why is he still following you? And why does he know your every move?
Those know my business, but I still warn him. If he keeps following you, I don't want him here. I know what he's doing. He has someone in the hotel checking up on you. By the way, don't use the hotel phones.
Oh my God. How am I going to get rid of him? Even if I change hotel, he will still find a way to annoy me. He's making my life miserable.
Well, you could always come and stay with me. I mean, after all, we are still best friends.
Yes, of course, but that won't stop him from following me, will it?
Well, it might do. I mean, after all, he's known that we've been friends since we were at school together.
Yes, but he won't give up. He keeps on calling Peter and John and asking them what the hell is happening over here.
I know. Do you know he actually phones me to tell me that he's spoken to Peter and that Peter is still madly in love with me and that he's so upset about the fact that we lost the baby and that he won't marry me because I'm rich. I mean, it's lies. Absolute and utter lies. Whenever I speak to Peter, he sounds cheerful and he doesn't sound like he has any intention of leaving Amsterdam or the modelling school.
Tell me the truth. You're still in love with him, aren't you? Every time you talk about him, your eyes glow.
Yes, it's true. I am still madly in love with him, but...
So what's the problem?
Well, it's just that I'm worried. John and Mandy, well, they had a black baby. And ever since that, well, my parents, they've just been totally against Peter and I getting married. You know, the same situation could happen to you.
Wait a minute. My father is not the same as John's, and Peter is my twin brother, so there's no chance of that happening. It didn't occur to me before, so you shouldn't worry at all.
What if it was from your mother's side?
Such a fool wanting a better boat? There must be a good reason for his disappearance. How am I going to get my money back?
I wonder if he left me a message. Let me call the operator. Hello, this is room 313. I'd like to check whether there are any messages for me, please.
Yes, madam. Mrs. Crook's called several times.
I was expecting a call from my boyfriend. Well, my mobile's battery is flat. He knows the number of the hotel. There must be a message.
No, madam. Only Mrs. Crook's called. Would you like her number?
No, thank you. I know that. It's my mother's. She must have left for France. Well, she can wait till tomorrow. I don't feel like talking to anyone.
Didn't you get my messages?
Yes, but I wasn't able to talk to anyone. Why? What was the urgency?
I wanted to warn you not to go to the wedding reception you were so keen on.
Why? Did Sergio call you?
Sergio is under arrest and the police would like to speak to you.
Why? What happened? I mean, what has he done? And why would they want to speak to me? For God's sake.
Don't tell me that you're that naive, that you haven't realized that Sergio's a con man and he's tried to cheat you out of your money. My money, that is.
Who told you this? I just can't understand.
Joan did.
Joan. I knew it. That's why I never introduced her to him in the first place. I knew she'd ruin everything for me. God, I hate that woman. Don't you ever say she's my sister.
He used the same tactics. He introduced himself. Then she realized he was the same Sergio, so she asked around about him, and she was told all about his scam.
Scam? What scam? You're all against me. Joan had no business interfering in my affairs. And secondly, Sergio had promised me he'd give me back the money if I didn't like the boat. The fact is that he hadn't given me anything yet.
He took her on a different yacht and used the same skipper. He spoke to the skipper in Maltese. Now, why don't you go to the police station and see what they need? You can ask John to accompany you. He's still in Malta.
No, I don't need John. I can go to the police station all by myself, thank you very much. Yes, Joan threw the dirt and now she's off.
Joan tried to contact you before she went to the police, but you weren't around. Anyway, then she saw you on another yacht with another man. Can you tell me what you're up to?
Lorna, I want you to help me find my father. I'm so desperate. I need to belong to someone.
You know, we've been friends since kindergarten, and I've never ever heard you mention your father before.
You see why I want to get closer to my own blood? You're ridiculing me. You don't care about my feelings.
No, I'm not. It's just that, well, if your father really cared about you, he would have never have left. He abandoned you when you needed him the most, when you were 10 years old. Well, in my opinion, he doesn't care whether you're alive or dead. And what about your mother? I mean, you're so close to her.
Oh, yes, of course, but she's got her own life. I mean, she's a different person now. And all she talks about is Uncle Fred's inheritance and his son, Kola.
Well, you yourself told me that only a short while ago, she actually bought you a boat.
Oh, it was no big deal. Believe me, she gave me enough money to buy a canoe, and not a decent yacht by any means. And she constantly reminds me that I need to give her the money back.
You know, come to think of it, you never even invited me on your boat.
Forgive me, darling. I have so many problems, and I'd really rather not talk about any of them at all. Have you any idea where I can start looking for my father?
Well, you could put an ad on the newspaper. Or you could post it on the internet. I mean, these things are very hype now, even in Malta. All you need is a name and an age, and you need a photograph if you got one.
Yes, I do have one with him, of my first Holy Communion. And oh my God, I do remember where I kept that. It's in a school album, which I normally keep with my music sheets.
Well, there you go then. Pass me all the information and I'll post it on the internet for you. But you know, there are agencies that can look into this sort of thing. They're the specialists.
Thanks.
What on earth possessed you to put an ad in the paper listing my number as one of the contacts?
Calm down, Mother. You know I had no choice but to give out your number as well, since I'm almost all the time in Italy. I'm sorry I didn't tell you.
Can you explain why you're looking for him? You hated him so much, you told everybody he was dead.
First of all, I'm not a little girl anymore. And secondly, I do have a right to know who my real father is, and also the real reason why he has left us.
Didn't I give you everything? Didn't I work day and night to pay for your education and your brothers? Didn't I sell all I had to make sure you were well provided for?
We all know that. Still, there's no harm in seeing him again. And who knows, he might be dead.
Well, he's not. There's his number. But don't you dare bring him here. I don't want to see his face.
Julia? Julia?
Yes. You haven't changed much, except for your grey hair.
I was so pleased to try to find you. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw your ad in the paper.
Well, I can't say that about yourself. I can't say I'm very pleased to see you, because when you left us, I just wanted you dead.
You must believe me. I have written to you and Peter. Look, check these. I have received all these back unopened.